The shockwaves are still coming after Donald Trump's sweeping new tariffs on all imports into the United States. China has hit back today, announcing an extra 34% tax on all American goods being sold there. They've accused the US of bullying and endangering the global trade order. And in the last few minutes, Donald Trump has accused China of panicking in their response. Then there's the rout on the markets. Well, that was the opening bell on the New York Stock Exchange. The Dow Jones down nearly 3%. Stock markets around the world have been in free fall since the tariffs were announced. Meanwhile, the UK Prime Minister is expected to hold calls with international leaders this weekend. It's understood the conversations are likely to be with European and Commonwealth leaders, with no call to Donald Trump currently anticipated. So let's start this hour with this report from our business correspondent, Mark Ashdown.
Just a day after President Trump's announcement, China has hit back. From next Thursday, sweeping tariffs of 34% on all US goods being imported into the country, from machinery and electronics to oil and vehicles. This global trade war just escalated. It follows nervous smiles at the closing bell on Wall Street last night. Trillions of dollars wiped off the value of US stocks as the major indices suffered their biggest one-day falls for 5 years. Household names like Nike, Amazon and Apple saw their values plummet. This was how the global financial markets reacted to Donald Trump's tariffs. Asian and European stocks followed, down across the board as fears of a worldwide recession took hold. The president insisted, however, everything was going to plan.
The markets are going to boom, the stock is going to boom, the country is going to boom, and the rest of the world wants to see, is there any way they can make a deal?
Are you happy with the tariffs, Sakia? Are you going to get a deal before tomorrow?
No comment from the Prime Minister this morning. The government maintains any response will be calm and measured, although it has now drawn up a 400-page list of US products the UK could hit with tariffs of its own.
Well, of course, we don't want to see tariffs on UK exports, and we're working hard as a government in discussion with our counterparts in the US to represent the British national interest and support British jobs and British industry. Those conversations are ongoing.
Every country, including the UK, has been hit with a baseline tariff of 10% on all goods being exported to the US. EU member countries are facing double that, a tariff of 20%. Goods being exported from Japan will be subject to a 24% tariff. The highest rate is being applied to China at 54%. European stocks have continued to slide in response, but the US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, taking part in the NATO summit this morning, said the pain would be short-term.
Businesses around the world, including in trade and global trade, they just need to know what the rules are. Once they know what the rules are, they will adjust to those rules. So I don't think it's fair to say economies are crashing. Markets are crashing because markets are based on the stock value of companies who today are embedded in modes of production that are bad for the United States.
China, first row.
As well as announcing tariffs, China has also filed a lawsuit with the World Trade Organization, claiming the US tariffs are tantamount to bullying and seriously violate international rules. This trade war is fast-moving, the outcome increasingly difficult to predict. Mark Ashdown, BBC News.
Well, let's get more on the Chinese reaction we've seen through the course of today. Here's our correspondent, Steve McDonnell. He's in Beijing for us.
Well, this is disastrous news for any US company that wants to sell into the huge Chinese market. It's even worse for agricultural producers. They already